What's up, guys? Welcome to my channel. It's Maria again. So in this video, we are going to talk about Pluto in the first house. So if you haven't watched my Pluto video, pause this video, go back, watch it so you will understand what Pluto means and what it means in your chart. So if you come back to Pluto in the first house, I want to start up with the first house first, because in astrology, house represents the area of your life. Let's say first house is all about you, your personality, your character, your desires, your physical appearance, everything about you. Second house is about your needs, your values. Third house is about your communication. I can go on, but let's stick with first house today. And let's explore what it means having Pluto in your first house. So as I mentioned in my previous video, Pluto represents your soul and your soul's evolutionary desire or intention for this lifetime you're living in. So which house it plays really important to knowing like why you came here this lifetime, what lessons you intend to learn. So I made, let's see, I made a little PowerPoint to kind of organize my thoughts. So I'm going to share that with you guys really quick. All right. Pluto in the first house. So for the people who has Pluto in the first house, you guys have this special need to fulfill your need of self-discovery and self-actualization. Basically, let's say you were very comfortable at home with the source, but you wanted to know more about yourself. So you kind of divide yourself, come to this world, experience a different life, a different experience, and know about yourself. So when you came to this lifetime, you have a parts of yourself that you don't know about yet. So you want to explore, you want to discover, like, who am I? What other parts that I don't know about myself? So you have this instinctual need to like discovery. It's not came from your parents, it's not came from society, culture, school, nothing. It just comes from within, like what's out there. I want to know, like, who am I? What parts I don't understand about myself. So you came here to fulfill that special need or destiny of self-discovery. So you have this instinct desire for independence and freedom, because in order to know yourself, you have to experience with things. It's like going to a buffet. How do you know what you like, what you don't like if you never had those foods? So you're gonna go pick a little bit of this, a little bit of that, you're gonna try. So in order to have that experiment or experiences with life, it naturally requires this freedom and independence, because without freedom and independence, you cannot explore life, or you cannot experience with different things. Like someone might hold you back, or something might hold you back. So you crave for that independence, freedom, so you can explore yourself. And so this naturally kind of makes you a little bit self-centered, you know, a little bit narcissistic in early lives, because, you know, the first 20, 30 years of our life, basically we're learning, we're adapting, we're knowing ourselves more. So we haven't developed this emotional maturity to deal with this instinct desire. So you might act out of that desire, not really care about others' feelings, like, hey, I want to discover myself, who cares about others? Like, so you might act a little bit self-centered the early life, but slowly as you mature, you develop this emotional maturity. you start to like care about others and others' needs, you know. Also, at some point, you are gonna fall into this identity crisis. What it means is like, at source level, we all connected. We have this universal consciousness. So nothing can exist separate from others, even including your desire of self-discovery, self-fulfillment, has to achieve through others, support or help of others. So at some point you are like, those desires of like others helping you to support these needs and your desire of independence and the freedom, they're going to clash. So you're going to fall into this identity crisis, and this will propel you to have desire to form relationship with others, because the best way to know ourselves is through others, because they can reflect, they're like a mirror, so they reflect back to us who we are. And so like vibrationally, you are going to attract those relationships to yourself. People come to your life really quickly. You're going to be in and out of relationships a lot. So you are going to react to those relationships 3 different ways. The first one is total rejection. You will reject everyone comes to your life, because and at some point, like, you suspect their motives, like why they want to be with me, or why they want to come to my life. And there's going to be what's the word, like you suspect their motives, and the information they give you, the feedback they give you, or confrontation, they make you realize that you don't like it, so you reject them. And the second reaction will be you follow that attraction. Someone comes to your life, you're attracted to them, and you perceive that their motives are good or pure, so you let them in. And you also like the comments they give you, you know, the feedback and the confrontation they give you, like it makes sense to you and you accept them. And the third reaction is you are going to reject certain people and you're going to accept certain people or certain relationships. So the third one is the most common among the most Pluto in the first house people, because, you know, not everyone comes to our life might have this purest motive. So that's going to be the common reaction to the relationship coming into your life. And another interesting thing is you're also going to manifest 3 different types of relationships. The first is you are going to dominate the relationship, because you have this instinct desire to have that independence and freedom. So if you can dominate the person in the relationship, and you will get your way, or you have that freedom that you're seeking for. And the second way it manifests is maybe one of your lifetimes you did that to the extreme. Maybe you dominated a relationship, or, you know, a person, so you have this guilt, and then next time you come into this life, you might want to tone it down a little bit, so you end up being the one who's dominated by your partner. So you will attract those fiery person, might like dominate the whole relationship. And the third one is the relationship which has potential for equality, because this is really what you need at the end. The evolutionary intention of your soul is get you into that balance of being in an equal relationship, where you guys both input information or feedback, like you can explore yourself, you can discover yourself freely without being limited by your partner. Your partner also can do the same. They can know about more about themselves, or they work out their karma, and you support them. in their journey too. So it's not about like dominating or being dominated. So you both have that growth, evolve mentality, and you facilitate each other, support each other, give each other space. That is the like the ultimate intention of your soul to push you to get there. So you are going to experience a lot of relationship in your life, in order to self-discovery, but at the end, like the goal is getting to that level of committed long-term relationship where your partner will support you in that journey. But before that, especially early parts of your life, you might experience a lot of relationship, really short term. People come and go, and maybe some of them just purely sexual, some of them just physically attractive, like short term. But slowly, as you mature, as you learn, you're gonna achieve that equilibrium types of relationship. And okay, the lessons you need to learn, I kind of mentioned that ultimately the lesson you want to learn is, even though it's important to know yourself, self-discovery, but at the end, you also need to realize that everyone walking on this earth, also on the same journey, they are as important as you. So you need to give them that attention. Got to listen to their needs. You got to give before you take. Just facilitate that equality in a relationship. So it's pretty much you're learning the opposite polarity of your house. Let's say Pluto in the first house, the lesson you need to learn is the polarity point is seventh house, Libra. So you got to learn the Libra, the equilibrium lessons at the end. You still need to self-discovery, like learn about yourself, but also you also need to respect others' journey of self-discovery, and they are as important as you. So you don't become like narcissistic, like only I matter, what I want matter. Like also respect others' journey of self-discovery. So in a positive note, you are gonna become an example and a motivation for others to self-discovery or assert their individuality. You're gonna encourage them. Yes, go for it. Yes, you should live what you want to live. You should actualize your desires. Like you become a role model, you become an example, and you encourage others with all the like energy you have, first house energy you have to encourage others. But the negative side, you might trap in a cycle of isolation relationships. What it means is, so the worst case, you are gonna be adopting other people's beliefs and values, but your instinct, your soul's desire is know itself, know what it wants. So it doesn't want to adopt someone else's values or desires or their characters. It wants to know itself. So if you adapt someone else's values, at some point you're going to rebel and you're going to hate that, and you just going to cut yourself off like, okay, I don't want to be dominated. I don't want to be taught by others. What should I believe? What should I do with my life? So you're just going to cut people off. So you put yourself in that isolation. But the evolution need push you to know you need to have a relationship. You need to put yourself out there. You need to have relationships. So you're gonna go be in relationships, and in those relationships you might repeat the cycle of you're dominating them or you're being dominated. So and then you don't like it and you go back to isolation. Then from isolation, then you need to go back out again, have relations. So you're gonna caught up in this negative cycle until some point you realize that it's important to know yourself, self-discovery. It's also important to respect others, self-discovery. Listen before you talk, like give before you take, and all that Liberian lessons. Until you learn that, you might trap into the cycle. So I hope just listening to this gave you some perspective how to go about in your relationship and what kind of relationship is right for you, what type of relationship is not, and just have a clear idea, like, are you one of those relationships you're dominating or being dominated, or are you being like too self-centered and ignoring everyone else's needs, or you're not even going out to discover yourself because you want the security and you're stuck in that stagnation, because it is going to be uncomfortable, because your soul's intention is to push yourself out there, experience, know yourself. So if you don't do that, you try to stay in your comfort zone where you're familiar with, you are going to suffer a lot. So I hope this helps you, give you some perspective on how to navigate a relationship and things comes to your life. And stop sharing. There you go. And let me know if any of those resonates with you. I really appreciate your time watching this, and I will talk to you guys next video.